What the hell's going on, guys? So today I want to talk to you guys about how I made just under $800 in the month of June from passive income or dividend income. I think it's one of my best months of all time, but you'll see that a little bit later in the video. But let's get into it. So, if you guys actually look at the Fidelity account, I'm showing basically what I've received in terms of dividend income just from my individual brokerage account. So you see I have BP, I have my Shell, Icon Enterprises, some more Shell, Hershey, Phillips 66 on the first of the month, Wells Fargo, Realty Income Corp, Stag Industrial, Main Street Capital Corp. This is just the monthly dividend. There's also this special semi-annual dividend that they pay out. I haven't gotten that yet, as I'm recording a couple days before the end of the month. But I figured I'm not going to wait until Union Pacific and Pepsi pay me. I'm just going to show you guys the investments that I have so far, or the money that I've gotten so far. This is up until, I don't know, the 24th or 25th of June. So let me show you my Roth IRA dividends that I got. I don't think I got too many, but let's just show you. So yeah, here is my Roth dividends over the past 30 days. Like I said, not very many. I got Icon Enterprises, and that's basically it. So let's see. I think I have a YouTube Moolah account as well. So the YouTube Moolah account, I only made a massive 58 cents. So obviously I wouldn't have that money if it wasn't for you guys, because that's where I invest all the money I've gotten from YouTube, which I no longer get any as I wait till I get back to 1,000 subscribers. But I have about $700, almost $800 in this account, so every quarter or so I get, and every month I guess rather, I get a little bit of passive income just from the interest that I have in terms of dollars that are invested in the account. But let's actually look at the spreadsheet so you can see all the money I've made for June, and let's do some calculations. So actually looking at the month of June, let me refix this screen here. But actually looking for the month of June, so we've gone through May. May was pretty low. I only made about $300 or so. But the month of June, I made a crack ton of money. $500 or so in my individual brokerage account. $25 in my Roth IRA, which is pretty small. Computer shares account, which I'm too lazy to pull up right now. The majority of the money came from my Exxon stock. And then I also have some share value plan stocks that I get through work, which also paid some money as well. So in terms of the actual amount, this number isn't equaling what I expect it to, but it's around $800, close enough or so, which, it is actually, so it's around 780, which is a pretty large increase over last month. So let's check, or last year, so let's check this out. So it is a 64% increase over last year, which is a pretty phenomenal increase year over year. And I think that's partially due to my investment in Shell, continued investment in Exxon, investment in Pepsi, things like that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Continuing to invest in Realty Income Corp. And yeah, I think that's rather mostly it. But really impressive. I'm on track to clear almost $1,400 in terms of this quarter's income. And yeah, I mean, this is probably, is it the best month I've had so far? It could be. No, I think it might be. So that's pretty cool. On track to make around $5,500 this year. Hoping that with a little bit more dividend investment, I can get this up to the 5,600, 5,700 range. I think I've been saying that for a while. Easily next year I'll make the 6,000 mark, but I'm hoping to get this up to 7,200. But we will see with that. So yeah, I'm pretty ecstatic about my progress thus far. March is going to be huge next year, but also in September this year, I'm looking to make $900 or so, and I think that's because of my semi-annual BHP payment, and I think maybe Disney pays? Let's check it. Who pays in September? Disney doesn't pay. It's mostly BHP. Wow, okay. And based off of what BHP, they kind of pay 40% of whatever they make at a minimum, and then they maybe pay out a little bit. Based off of what they paid the last semi-annual payment, it's looking around $135. So we shall see what that ends up being. But that's awesome. Okay. So looking forward to that, and then continued Exxon payments, continued Shell, continued BHP or BP, Wells Fargo. So the same stocks basically that I get in June, except an increase in BHP payments and maybe a couple others. Wow. Okay. Excellent. So that's that. But continuing really to climb as much as I can. So this is about as good as it's going to get for 2018. Maybe a couple $100 more if I'm able to get a couple more $1,000 invested this year. But like I said, I'm holding on to some cash at the moment. I think I'm about, let's check it. How much of cash am I sitting on at the moment? That's dividend increases. Only 2%, so I'm not sitting on that much. But if I deployed that at 4%, I mean, we're talking a couple $100 in terms of total yearly income. And so if I have the last half of the year left, if I were to invest all that capital, then I could get a pretty good chunk of change. You think about it, if I invested it at 5%, that's $500. If I have half the year left, well, that's $250 in my pocket for the year. But I'm working on some other things that aren't necessarily related to stock or anything like that. There's a private real estate investment trust that I might invest in, so rather just keep some of that cash, and I might free up some cash that I have in my investment portfolio to help pay for some of those things. But here is my actual split out in terms of the different accounts. There are a lot of them. Obviously on my 401k I have my individual brokerage account, my Roth, my YouTube Moolah, which is under 1% of my portfolio, my computer shares, some stuff I have through work, and then also my personal savings account, which is in there as well. But looking rather good. I'm pretty excited. Just looking at this total dividends by month graph, looking basically on the light blue compared to the orange. I mean, every month it looks like it's gone up. January, February, March, April was kind of shoddy. What I definitely will probably be doing in the next upcoming few months, if I were to rebalance it all, I have been thinking about getting out of some of the energy stocks that I have, just because I have a good capital gain on them. And I also, if you look back at my portfolio allocation, am rather heavyweight in terms of my sector income. So this green is energy stocks, so mostly oil and gas. And then this light blue is real estate. So if you look at those two, I'm rather heavily invested in energy, especially for income. But there's some of these other sectors that I have very little investment in. So just taking those into account, I need to rebalance a little bit. So if I invest in something, I'm going to try to look for something that's in like the first or second month of the quarter rather than the third month of the quarter, because my March, June, September, and December dividends are my highest. If you remember looking back at here, this is my March, June, September, December, whereas these kind of struggle along. So if you think about it, I'm averaging around $500 a month for 2018, but I'm averaging maybe about $450 a month for 2018. Next year will be about $500 a month. But if you think about it, it's like on a rolling average, it's $200, $300 this month, and then $600, $700 the third quarter or third month of the quarter. So really need to even that out. But anyway, thanks for stopping by. I always reinvest my dividends, so it's always fun to see how much in one single month this actually goes up. So I received 138 in terms of dividend payment from BP this quarter, but actually in September should be making another $1.79 just from the reinvestment. And same thing with Shell, right? It's like I got $105 this quarter, but I should be getting 107. And that's really the goal, right? My goal is to basically reinvest and get $1 increase every single time. Because if you think about it, if you have 40 or 50 positions, every quarter, and each one of them gives you an increase of $1 every quarter, then you're looking at a couple $100 in just increases just because you do dividend investment or reinvestment. So if you think about it, if you do dividend reinvestment, you average around 4%, and you make, let's just say $1,000, you're going to make about $40 extra just from the reinvestment. If you make $10,000, it ends up being $400. I mean, that's something that's pretty nice, especially once you get into the $20,000, $30,000 range. You're getting a couple $1,000s, building every single month. Where right now it would take me $20,000 to $25,000 of invested income to get that $1,000 of dividend income a year. If that makes sense. Hopefully I didn't lose you there, or maybe I misspoke. So apologies if I misspoke. But anyway, like to thank you guys for watching the show. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. I'll be tuning in next month to talk about the $369 I anticipate on making. Unless, actually, it could be a little bit more because Main Street Capital will be giving me. Anyway, these are all approximate because I can't keep track of absolutely all of them, but I get as close as I can. And sometimes you see, like for instance, there's a small discrepancy in this volume, 6,000 compared to, I'm off by like $10 somewhere, and I'm like, there's just so many numbers and attached things. I'm just like, I like doing this, but at the same time, it's not like I'm gonna lose millions of dollars if I miss, $10 tracking. You know what I mean? It's still gonna come into the bank account regardless. But anyway, rich people problems. Just kidding. Anyway, thanks for stopping by the channel. I'll talk to you guys soon. If you have any questions, comments, or would just like to talk to me down in the comment section below, I'm more than happy to respond to you. Love talking to you guys about investing and what stocks you're investing in, why I would or wouldn't invest in it. Always, I'm not a financial advisor, so if you have any plans to invest, take this as a guide, but do your own due diligence and also follow up with a financial professional in order to make the right decisions. I appreciate your guys' time. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great week.